So let's just talk about iterator in Python. So iterator is basically one object that can contain countable number of values. So in simple words, iterator is something that we can iterate upon, meaning that we can traverse through all the values of one iterator. Now we have another term, iterable. So example of iterables are like the list, we have the tuple, and also the dictionary, and also we have the set. So all of these are example of iterable object. So that means we can iterate over these objects. Like an example, suppose we have one tuple t1 with the values a, b and c. Because the tuple is a iterable object, so we can pass it through the iter function. So we can pass the t1 to the iter, then it will return this iterator. And now we can use the next method, and if we passed this iterator my iter to the next method, so it will one by one return all the values of this tuple. Like an example, suppose we have one string Python. Now this is one iterable object. Now we can pass this to the iter method, and this will return one iterator. Now we can one by one get all the characters from the string by using the next method. So we can use next and we pass the iterator. Now this will return the first character of the string. So if we run this, you can see we got the p. Similarly, if we run this again, and you can see we got the character y. So this way we can continue to run this next on the iterator, and we're gonna get all the characters one by one. Now normally we use one for loop to iterate through one iterable. Like an example, here we can use the for loop for value in the str, and then we can print all the values. So we are printing all the characters. Now the for loop also internally creates one iterator object, and then it also executes the next method for each loop, and this way it is printing all of these characters. So all of these operations are happening internally in case of the for loop. And also we can create one object and we can iterate over that object. So to do that, we have to implement two methods. So first of all, we have to implement the dunder iter method, and secondly we have to implement the dunder next method. So like an example, suppose we have one class counter. Now we wanted to create one object of the class, and we wanted to iterate on that object. So for this we need to implement the iter and next method inside the class. So first of all, let's just define the constructor. It has the start and the end. So we're gonna initialize the start and we have the end. Now because we wanted to iterate over the object of the class, so we need to implement the iter method, so which will take the object itself, and then it will return itself as one iterator. And also we have to define another method which is the dunder next. Here we have to write the logic. So because we are counting from start to end, so if self dot start is less than equal the self dot end, then we're gonna get the value from the start, and then we're gonna increment the start by 1 and we're gonna return the value. So whenever we invoke the next, it will check if the start is less than the end or not, and then it will take the starting value, and then it will increment the start by 1, and then it will return the value that we got from the start. So this way every time the next is invoked, it will return the next value in the range from start to end. Now we do not want this iteration to go forever, so for this we need to use the stop iteration statement. So here we have to use the else, and then here we have to raise the stop iteration. So now we can create object of the class and we can iterate over that. Let's just create one object of the counter. So the count will start from 1 to 10. Now we can iterate over this object using one for loop. So we can use the for loop value in C1, and then we can print all the values in the range from 1 to 10. So here you can see we have the output, we have the values printed from 1 to 10. So we can manually also do that. So first of all, this is one iterable, so we have to pass it to the iter method, and this will return one iterator. And then we can use the next method, we can use the next iterator, and this will return the next value of the iteration. So the first value will be 1, so this is 1. Similarly, we can run this again, and we're gonna get all the values of that iterator. So we can create custom iterator of our object by implementing the iter and the next method. So hope you understand about iterator in Python. See you in the next one. Take care.